Let's give it a 3, 2, and we're in. Let's
We're
go,
live.
Luke.
We're
Dude,
live.
let's give a round of applause, please.
Thank you to the live crowd.
Dude, we got our boy Luke on. Let's
Luke
go.
Chase. Luke chasing the dreams. Thanks for coming on,
Dude,
bro.
thank you for
Luke,
coming
thank-
up.
For sure.
Dude, this means a lot to us. I appreciate you coming through, man.
Yeah, no problem.
So what's going on in your life? What's new, man? What's up with everything?
Yeah, let the people know like what you've been working on, where they can find you, all that. Plug your shit right now.
Yeah, so for the past year, before I would say December, the main focus of my life was nightlife. And
Nightlife.
creating
Okay.
a social
Wait, here we go.
circle.
Nightlife. Okay.
Okay, nightlife. It was more creating a social circle for myself and making sure I had access to the best parties, knowing who the right guys were, access to yachts, going out to tables, bringing girls out. That was the main focus, and it was fun for a year, but I wouldn't say it gets old. I would just say priorities change when things in your life become automated. So
What do you mean by that? Automated.
So when you have a personal brand on, do you guys want me looking at you at the camera? What looks the
Whatever
best?
you prefer. It's just
whatever you
casual
wanna do.
conversation.
Like,
All right, cool. So when I first started out, it was me fixing my Instagram, and what that means is like going out, taking photos at high status places in Boston, and really figuring out, okay, how do I want to look? If I'm inviting women out, I need to look a certain way, and my Instagram needs to be like perfect. In
That's
order for them
true.
to say
I
yes.
mean, that's a good point. You got to look good.
Yeah,
You got to look good. Look good, feel good, play good, you know?
Right. You gotta look good. So I spent May of 2022 to like, I would say August of last year,
Yep.
focusing on building my social circle and being the guy that women hit up to go out and guys hit up to bring girls out. And that was like my main priority.
Wow.
So that
Wow.
was the big focus. Money wasn't as big of a focus as money is right now. And
Yeah.
that's why I've kind of stopped. I don't not go out, but I go out a lot less than I used to. And the thing that drives me isn't, oh, get 5 girls' Instagrams. It's, okay, great. Is this girl into me? Is this girl giving me compliance? And if she is, can this be something consistent? Because I'm more focused on myself, fitness, and building up businesses.
No, I love
more focused on money. So it went from building my social life up, making sure I had access to the right things and the network that I wanted to okay, my network set up. Girls set me up every single weekend to go out.
Yeah.
That's all fixed. Like, there's no work I need to put in that's going to make my life maybe 5-10% better. As in when I was first starting out, like, wow, I added 12 girls to my list, or like now 10 girls hitting me up, 15 girls hitting me up. They were like
Snowball
Swimming
effect.
Swimming in it.
yeah. So there were like 20% increases in what I would see. Now there's not as much of a improvement as to what I've built up so far. So putting in effort isn't going to give me like the 20% improvements. It's going to give me like 5% improvements. As opposed to me investing in my business, my personal health, it's going to make me a better person and me become the person where those 50% improvements come in. So now it's more about like the structure's built out. Now what are the parts of my life I want to optimize?
Dude, I think that's super important. I think, like you said, it comes down to just like you want to do this just to self-improvement.
Yeah.
You just wanted to seek the best version of yourself. And I think that's like the most pure intention. Like, I just want to better myself. I want to do right by me so I can do right by everyone else.
Yeah, that's like the only thing you got really is yourself. Like,
yeah.
You
And
gotta
obviously,
make that the best you possibly can.
yeah. And obviously, having the girls around is just a big plus. You know what I mean? That's just a big
That's only gonna
extra
help.
part of it. You know
It's
what I
only
mean?
gonna help.
Just knowing that, like, you can find cool people in doing what you do and what you think is cool and what you like. And I think like attracts like. You know what I mean? Everyone's going to be on the same mindset. I think you want to be around people that offer you that same mentality. Because, like,
Yep.
we talk about this all the time.
You need to be around like-minded people, especially if you're like
if you're on the ground.
on your level of discipline and hard work, trying to get to like your best self, your higher self. So
Right. Like,
it's like what we talked about with on when we came on Rich Levels Talk. Check
Shout out.
out Rich
Hey.
Levels Talk.
shout out.
Shout out Luke Chase, Richard Lopez, and all the boys.
But no, I think it's super important that like because you're doing the 75 hard, you told us, and that's not easy at all. Like, give us a rating. What's 10? Like how difficult it probably was in the beginning.
At the beginning, it was a lot. So let me put it like this.
Well, where are you right now?
Yeah.
I'm on day 26.
Okay.
Let's go.
So
Hell yeah.
at the beginning, what's funny was it wasn't me doing it for myself. It was more me seeing if I could do it and like what incremental changes would happen from doing it. Now it's okay. I know it is accomplished for me. Now I'm just going to keep doing it.
Yeah. So it's just going to be a lifestyle?
Yeah.
It's going to be life hard.
This is
Yeah.
you're
hard.
committing this for
David
life now,
Goggins.
not 75 days.
Well, like it's more of if I do these things every single day, there's why stop?
100%. 100%.
Right.
There's no reason to stop. Like if I stop and I have a fun dinner with my friends, I can just restart and keep going.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like you have to stick to it. Like
I see what you
like,
mean.
If I have a dinner with my friends and have some cake, why am I going to stop going on walks and reading 10 pages a day afterwards? Just restart.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I see what you're saying. It's like,
I feel like
forgive yourself if you go a little off path.
Well, why go hard on yourself?
Exactly.
It's just the consistent. Like if I'm working out and I'm going on walks every single day, that's gonna be so good for my health long term going forward. If
Yeah.
I'm primarily maybe 6 days on, 1 day off for diet, and like I want to enjoy myself a little bit while still moderation wise keeping it consistent.
Yeah.
Like what happens a lot with
everything in moderation, you know.
Yeah, what happens a lot with 75 hard is people will go way too fucking hard into the paint, suffer a fucking ton, and because of 75 straight days of like this pure pain, anguish, oh I can't eat this, stressing out when you're at dinner, they go off the deep end when they finish, and then all the discipline goes out the window. So in between phase 1 and phase 2, you have to like start doing like cold showers, visualization, all this other shit.
Okay.
There's a 30-day period.
I didn't know there was phases.
That's wild. Yeah. That's wild. I love it.
There's a 30-day period after you finish the phase 1 where it kind of gives you time to fall on your sword and realize what life is like without discipline.
Right.
Yeah.
So some people go off the deep end and are like, oh my God, I starved myself. I didn't do any of this stuff. Let me start eating gummy worms and pancakes and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And they stop doing the second workout. They stop reading.
Yeah.
And then all the discipline goes out the window, and the structure that they were like seeking, that they were yearning for when they were doing it, that really helped them stack up the wins, goes away, and they kind of lose purpose and structure to their life.
Yeah.
Yeah. How important do you think it is that you have to be able to balance moderation?
That's the most important thing in life.
And I think that's like number one. I think us as people, we like naturally just like to indulge. We're just like gluttonous people, right? Like it's part of the sin. You know, we're greedy people. We tend to overdo things. And I think that if we are able to balance, you know, what we indulge with like what we know is good for us, I think that you'll be able to balance life. You'll be able to
That's what
handle
I'm saying.
life. You know what I mean?
Bice stands for the balance is center of everything.
Exactly. Kind of.
You
What
got
does
to
it stand
balance.
So
Balance the center of everything. Shout out to Queenie.
It was an evolved acronym, I would say.
Okay.
It wasn't the initial start of what the Bice stands for, but shout out his sister Queenie that came up with it.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
All right.
And I know it's kind of hooey wooey, but like I agree with it. I think
It's
like
balance the center of everything. You got to be balanced. Like anything in life,
facts.
whatever it is, like balance is going to only enhance it or make it the best it can be.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know what I mean?
I think that like even scientifically, like our ecosystem is so perfectly well balanced that like if one thing were to crumble, everything else crumbles. So I think you got to recognize that like biologically and life wise, life always finds a way to balance everything else. So I feel like in your life, your life will find a way to balance itself as well. Like you're gonna have highs and lows, and just you got to remember when the things are high, it's easy to be happy. It's easy for things to go well. But when things crash down and you're hitting your lows, like it's gonna be tough. Now like you're at rock bottom. Now you're struggling. So you just got to remember that, you know, you're high, now you're low. You're gonna get back high again. And so now you got to like just balance that because you're never too high, never too low. Because if you believe at yourself at your lowest, that you suck and all this stuff, then like how are you gonna believe at your highest that you're like not worthy?
If you believe that, it's
know
gonna
what I
be
mean?
true.
Exactly.
I read this book called Atomic Habits, and it talks about having the mentality of good. Oh
Yeah.
wow, my wife just divorced me. Good.
Dude,
Good.
I saw that
I
from
just I won
Good.
I won the Olympics. Okay, good.
What next?
Your-
What
my,
next?
my kid died. Good. That may be hard to grasp.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I get what you say though.
Yeah.
I heard that from you know who Jocko Willink is?
yep.
He was the one that I think I saw
saw-
it in like
I saw
a
a clip of it.
motivational clip or like something like that, and I was like, damn, that shit made me want to run through brick walls. Because yeah, it's just like no matter what, if it's actually good or bad, you can always turn it into something good. You can always learn something
Yeah.
from it. Like you said, you know, you lost a child. That's clearly the worst thing you could probably ever feel happen, but like let's use this to make us better. Let's use this to get stronger. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
let things crumble
anything, anything that you go through is only going to make you better. And I
Yeah.
feel like you're meant to go through certain things in order to get you to where you're supposed to be.
Yes.
Like Jocko Willink.
The GOAT. He's the
like,
GOAT. I love him.
Good.
Yeah, you're exactly where you're supposed to be right now.
Yes.
Dude,
Yeah.
I agree.
we
I
do
agree.
that all the time. That was the big thing I got from Game of Thrones. When I saw Game of Thrones, all they would say is like, you're right where you're supposed to be all the time. Because they believed in like a destiny and a fate. And I love that idea that like, you're going to be fine. You're right where you're supposed to be. That things had to go the way they had to go to get to where we're at now. And the past is over. No point in crying about it. I think
Past
the
is
best
the
thing is to
past.
like make a joke out of it, make the best out of it. I think if you're able to laugh at yourself,
Laugh at yourself
Laugh
is
it
key
off,
too.
baby.
But you just gotta learn everything, every mistake, every bad thing that happens. You just gotta learn from it, because if that's its purpose, that's why
Yes.
it's happening, pretty much.
Yeah.
So take away what you can from everything that happens to you.
Yeah. Another book I've read. It's called what is it? What I've Learned by Colin Powell. Oh no, It Worked for Me by Colin Powell. He was a national security secretary for Ronald Reagan back in the day, and one
Wow.
of his like rules was it will always look better in the morning. So like
that's so true.
when something is like emotions are high, things aren't the best.
Yeah.
Like
Mm.
relax, focus on what you can fix now, and then just attack that shit in the morning.
Yeah.
And don't stress too much
Yeah.
about it right now. Like a lot of times we'll have one thing in our life and we'll zero in on it and we'll have tunnel vision as to what that problem is. And like we'll be going on a walk. You could be enjoying the walk, but all you think about is, oh, I fucked up this one thing on a date. Like, dude, that girl forgot what happened.
Dude,
like
no one
you
cares.
just-
No
like-
one cares.
like meal plan you had for what you're gonna do later that day. Focus on like whatever you have to do and just get that shit done. Like don't zero in on one bad thing, because then it'll just balloon up and things are. Oh, we always make things out worse than they actually are.
Yeah,
That's so true.
We always say it. You want to have a short memory, like in a good way though.
You want to be a goldfish, yeah.
Legit,
Absolutely. I
30-second memory, yeah.
30-second memory, because as long as you're learning from anything that happens, that's like a good way to look at things, because you can't dwell on the past. The past is the past. You're never gonna change it.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist, so you can't.
Well, we've
It's all
talked,
memory, It's not even. You
We-
can't even see it.
right. We've talked about short memory and how important that is, and why I think that made Tom Brady the GOAT. I think having a short memory made him the GOAT because there were times when he had bad plays and he had a chance to like let the noise get to him. When it's a minute left, and it's the Super Bowl, and you got to win by a touchdown. He just like next play, bad play, whatever. We're getting this next play. We're getting it next play.
Okay.
On to the next play. On to the next play. And I think that's what made him the GOAT. Whether it was good or bad, he was just like, I'm on to the next one. I'm on his next ring. Best ring is the next ring. On to the next one.
Yep.
He just like, I think that's what made him the best. That mentality of Mamba mentality.
Yeah.
And short memory. Like, I like the idea of like a goldfish. You got to be. You can't. There's no point in dwelling on things that have already happened. You know what I mean?
Right.
And people are gonna.
It drags you down, holds you down. You could be improving yourself
You can spend that on
bettering
way
yourself.
better things, man. Like I know
rather than just dwelling on the past.
you've been grinding the gym. Tell us what your gym grind is like. What do you like to?
Yeah.
What's your preference? What do you like to?
He's
grind
got
on?
about like a 14, 16 pack.
Let's go.
It's paying off.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah, so I have a 5-day split right now,
Let's go.
and it helps. So in December, after Thanksgiving,
Yes, sir.
my body wasn't. I was in no words out of shape. I'm just like, something doesn't feel right. So
Yeah.
I was doing what anyone that doesn't really know what to do does, where they go on Instagram, they look for advice, and then they see
Yes,
like
sir.
9 different versions of that advice. So
Yeah.
I got a personal trainer, and I've been basically paying him to tell me what to do. Like I know what to do, but because of whenever you have pain, you want change fast. But
Yes.
what you got to
Yeah.
realize is that change happens over time. It
Yes.
doesn't happen fast, especially with working out.
I wish.
So I need
Mm.
so
I
like
wish.
Yeah.
I would do one thing and worry if I was doing that thing like the wrong way or if I wasn't doing the right thing. But the reality is with working out, it's not about what the right thing is. It's about doing one thing consistently
Yes,
and
sir.
sticking to it.
Yes.
Keto can work for you. Being a vegetarian can work for you. Completely fasting till 8 p.m. could work for you. What matters most is that you enjoy the thing that you're doing so you can do it more consistently.
Yes.
That's what matters the most. So for me, I have a 5-day split right now. Chest and triceps on Tuesday. Wednesday, I do back and biceps. Thursday, I do uppers, so like more chest, some biceps. I believe
yeah.
Friday I do legs, and then Saturday I do shoulders and arms, and then today and tomorrow will be my off days. So on my off days, I still do 2 walks. So
Nice.
walking, it's funny. When people try and lose weight, what they'll often do is they'll be like, oh, I got to run a marathon, or I
Yeah,
got to
start running.
start like sprinting, doing cardio. Like, reality is the consistent changes over time are what's going to get you results. It's not about like eating 20 donuts and then going to the gym or going on the bike at the gym for 6 hours and then like eating like shit and then going to the gym for 2 days out of the week. It's about walking consistently every single day and making it a part of your lifestyle.
Longevity.
Yes.
Yes, longevity.
Yes.
I think longevity is
Absolutely.
so key. I think like if you're gonna do something, especially something like a lifestyle change that's so good for you, you got to make it lifestyle. You got to make it forever. And I think that people underestimate what they can do in 10 years versus what they can do in a year. So I think if you're only in this for to get summer ready, you're probably not going to be in it for a while.
Right.
You got to be in it for
Yeah.
the long haul. And I mean, Ty's kind of fell off the wagon. Talk about
I
that for
fell off the
yourself,
wagon,
man.
yeah.
What happened?
What happened?
So, yeah, I used to be in the gym, like, legitimately training for football, like 4 workouts a day during COVID, just every day. There's nothing else to do, like field, gym, hills, whatever. Just grind, just like nothing else to do. So I was just working out crazy. Then football ends, and I go to work construction. So my question to you is, what's your advice to guys that work physical jobs? It's tough to get in the gym. Like you get out of work late, you're in early, and you're tired. Any advice to those guys?
It's a great
Well-
question, actually. I love that.
My question is, why were you working out when you were doing football? What was driving you to work out?
Football, like that was
Like,
my
was it winning
motivation.
for your team? Was it impressing your coach? Was it working with your teammates? What was the driver when you were working on the football team?
To go to the league.
Really?
Go to the league. Yeah, 100%.
So, when you stopped and you went to construction, what changed in driving you to work out?
There was no motivation anymore.
So there was no long-term goal.
No long-term goal.
Are you like with your construction
explains
job
it.
right now? What's your goal with it? Are you just kind of just like, you know how some cops have like a job for 30 years? It's just like they're working a beat, they're working a shift.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of part of their life. They don't really like have a long-term goal. It's like, all right, I'm gonna accept this.
Yep.
What's your mindset for your construction job?
I see potential. Like I like the work. Like for some reason, like I'm a like outdoor, like physical work person,
Mm-hmm.
which I didn't want to be, but I realized
you didn't want
that
to be it.
I didn't. But now I'm like, this is way better than sitting in an office. Personally, could I do that too? Definitely, but I feel like physical work, at least for now. Like I'm 26, young. Like maybe that changes. That could change like in a year. You know what I mean?
True.
Okay.
So I'm really just going with the flow with it, seeing where it goes. It's working for me right now, so that's where I'm at. I mean,
What do you define as
ultimately-
working for you? So, like you said, I don't want to be in an office job. So, what pushed you away from being an office job, and what drove you towards construction?
So construction, that just kind of happened. Like, I wasn't working, and I see a friend of mine owning the company, tells me to come work for him,
Okay.
and been there ever since. But I don't know. Maybe it's just like the football mentality. I've just been so used to it my whole life. Like physical work. Like
Mm-hmm.
if I don't feel tired at the end of the day, I feel like I didn't do anything. Like physically. It's weird.
I feel that.
It's weird.
I feel like that too.
But whatever. That. So yeah, the goal right now.
Like, what do you mean priorities, bro? Like, you work in construction.
Yeah.
You're saying you want to work out more. Like, what are your biggest priorities right now in life?
Good question.
Probably making money.
Okay.
I'm trying
Of
to
course,
save up
of course.
to buy a home, multifamily, and single family. That's honestly my ultimate goal. Invest in real estate.
Okay. So, say you in 2 years you have enough money to buy the house. What's next?
Save for the next house.
What's the ultimate goal here?
Get big bread
For what?
for me and my family.
Okay.
Generational wealth. as they
Generational wealth.
say.
I love that. Yeah.
So you want to have a kid. You want to do all this. Like, what do you want your legacy to be in 10 years?
We're getting existential here.
Because we can all have goals to, like, say, if I buy a house, but why are you doing that? What's driving you?
I want freedom.
Okay.
I
Let's
want to
go.
be
Great
successful where someone I saw a short, shout out Daniel Linger, who had him on the pod doing the most podcast.
Shout out.
He said he defined success as wake up in the morning and be able to do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
That's just complete freedom, whatever. That's what I think is a lot of people's goals, ultimately. I would say that's mine as well.
Okay. So this construction job is helping you, like, buy a house.
Yes.
Do you plan on leaving the construction job when you have a couple homes?
That's where
That'd be nice, right?
we'll see. We'll see.
Do you have, like, a goal / plan of something that you want to do if you retire the construction job?
Podcast.
Let's go.
Okay. So one thing I do want to say here is, yes, me and Rich have a good podcast, but monetizing a podcast is very, very difficult.
For sure.
Not if you get the sponsors.
Okay, so Fresh and Fit have tons of viewers that essentially do super chats, and they've been doing it. They have a specific niche that
Yeah.
they found.
Yeah.
For sure.
Most podcasts are not profitable.
For sure.
So if
Most. Not all.
correct, and that's being
Not all.
being very, very optimistic.
For sure.
What I'm saying is, this could be an avenue for you guys, but say construction doesn't end up working out. What's your plan?
Podcast. All in on the podcast.
I love that. I love that.
That's the way you have to be.
True.
Right. So, say the podcast doesn't work out, and say construction doesn't work out. Then what's your plan?
Well, I could always get an office job.
Okay.
True.
I have my college degree. I have my MBA.
Shout out. Shout out.
Shout out Assumption College, Assumption
Shout out.
University now.
I'm being slightly pessimistic here, but what I'm trying to get you to see is, what do I actually want to do? Why do I want to do it? And what's going to push me to be the best version of who you are?
Absolutely.
These are great questions. What was the question again?
My bad. My bad.
Yeah. So
Just what I actually
no,
want to
like,
do.
so a construction job can get you, so, like, I don't know if you're a technician, field person, project manager, project consultant. There are layers to status and hierarchy within construction. So you could be working to become a PM. you're doing this to save money so you can eventually buy a house.
Mhm.
Rich is an electrician.
Mm.
Rich doesn't want to be an electrician in 2 years.
Mm.
Right.
He's doing it right now because he's getting him money so he can do other things
Mhm.
that will buy him back his time.
Mm.
Yep. Yep.
Do you see yourself working construction in 2 years?
Not if I don't have to.
Right. So
You
what
know
would
what I
make
mean?
you not have
Right.
to?
Make bread somewhere else. Another avenue.
Right. So
Do I know that avenue? No.
Okay.
That has been, like, honestly, my biggest struggle right now is side hustle.
Mm.
Because I know I could do it. I also want to work out because I want to focus on my health as well.
Right. So
Absolutely.
that's what I'm asking you your biggest priorities. So like you're saying that you want to work out, and
Yes.
construction doesn't allow you to do that. Do you think you can find an office job that would give you the same amount of money that construction does? That way you were less tired from construction, and then you can go to the gym.
Mm.
Yes, but that's the likelihood of that happening is low.
Are you making bread right now from construction?
Not, I wouldn't say bread, but it's the most I've ever made. I feel like I would rather be outdoors working than. I feel like I would enjoy it more because I've had like a semi-office job before. I didn't like that part of it.
Mm.
Enterprise rent-a-card.
It was a
I
rent a
was-
car.
Yes.
Okay.
rent-a-car.
What didn't you like about it?
The
Because you got to
the
analyze
back end things in the office.
yeah.
I like driving around, picking people up, talking to customers, like obviously doing the sales, whatever. But the actual office part, worst part. That's just me personally.
Mm.
And I don't know if I was meant to just do a physical sort of job. I mean, I feel like ultimately if I didn't have to work, I would just work out. That would be my, all I would need.
Ideally,
You know what I
right?
mean?
Ideally, that would make sense. Yeah, I think like I even find it a struggle for me to make the time. Because I'm in school. I go to work, try to get in the gym, try to do jujitsu. It's definitely hard to balance, especially you got a girlfriend. We all got priorities, like you said. We got so many things going on. So it's really, I gotta like time manage very well.
Yes.
I think it's a big time management thing. I think if you're like, you got to just like, sometimes you got to make.
It's just adulting.
windows.
I feel like.
Yeah.
So what?
It's just adulting at the end of the day.
It's adulting at the end of the
Like
day. Yeah.
There's never enough time for anyone.
Never
I
enough
feel
time in
like.
the day. 24 hours in a day is not enough time.
You just got to
It's
make the
not
most
enough,
of it, though.
man. It's not enough. But yeah, you got to sleep faster. Arnold Schwarzenegger would say, just sleep faster.
Sleep faster.
But sleep is so important, man. I feel like I've been lacking a lot of sleep lately, and it's been like affecting me. So
Does 75 hard include anything about sleep?
probably at least 8 hours. Like,
I mean, I get sleep when I can. I'm up at 5:30 during the week, so I try to be in
Yeah.
bed by like 10 or 10:30,
mm.
and then, I mean, I go on my walk. I take magnesium, 5-HTP, like some supplements, and then I go to bed. Like,
Nice.
so sleep's important for recovery. So
100%.
needs to happen. So like, with me, my priority is how I look and how I feel. And
Yeah.
sleep is a big contributor to that. So
Beauty
I would
sleep.
say
Get
I
that
would say
beauty
I
sleep.
make sleep a priority.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. I haven't been. That's my problem. I haven't making sleep my priority just because I'm trying to do so many things at once. But I think, yeah, like you said, I think we talked about this before. Like, doctors have said that if we didn't need to sleep to live, that sleep would literally be a performance enhancing drug. You know what I mean? Because of how well it does
Yeah.
for recovery.
Just the benefits are crazy.
It's just the benefits are crazy. Exactly. So I always wanted to try one of those, the sleep deprivation tanks where you
What?
like, it's like a float tank where like
Oh yeah, the flow tank thing.
you go inside this big like bubble thing. We'll show you a video.
Shout out
actually.
Max
But let me explain.
Vitality.
Shout out Max Vitality. It's like
Come on
this
the pod.
big pod thing. Looks like a pod where it's got like half water filled with Epsom salts, so that way you like float. It makes it more buoyant, and it's pitch black in there, like no sound. You just like sleep, and I guess like 30 minutes of sleep in there equates to like 3 hours of sleep, just because it's so.
Wow.
Your body just like so unstimulated that's allowed to like regrow quicker, I guess, is the science behind it. I'm
The
not too sure, but why don't we look up a
recovery
YouTube
tank,
video on
recovery
that? Let's take a
thing,
look.
yeah.
Because I do want to learn more about this. I've always wanted to try one. I've also wanted to try
Imagine
the,
getting in that every day after the gym, just feeling great the next day in the gym.
If I get 3 hours of sleep in 30 minutes,
Sleeping that overnight.
Yeah, life is about finding the things that minimize your stress and minimizing it as much as possible so that it's not a
Not
big,
existent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minimizing stress and buying back your time.
Buying back your time.
So it's a sensory deprivation tank. Let's see how it impacts the brain. Hold on, let me switch to the screen recording. Let me move this around. All right.
What does it do?
All right. So I think they're going to explain it, but it's going to be how it affects the brain.
Our series, Pay Attention, at how to retrain our focus
Hmm.
and recapture our attention.
Let's see what they have to say.
At some point, I lose myself, never falling asleep,
Damn.
but moving into
That's
a state
kinda
of a
creepy.
clear but empty mind.
That's some trippy
Sensory
shit.
That's kinda trippy,
deprivation.
right?
It's about as far as I can get from the chirpy world of breaking news.
But yeah, you
social
stay away
media,
from social media. You're probably,
and the rest of what
I guess all you have is your thoughts, right?
Yep.
So,
You guys ever work out without music?
athletes.
oh yeah, for sure. I've tried before just to try it, but I definitely prefer it with music for sure. I mean, I don't like need music to work out, but like I'm just like a big music person. You know, like I play guitar. Like I'm very I like to be involved with the
big
music
guy, big
community,
music guy.
and so that's usually where I listen to music and albums is when I'm at the gym because two birds, one stone. You know what I mean? I've been flexing a lot of the Schoolboy Q album lately. It just dropped. I don't know if you know who that is, but
Shout out.
he's one of my personal favorite rappers, and
First time in 6 years he
it's
dropped.
been 6 years, so it's been a long time, and I'm a huge fan, so I'm glad he dropped it. I was just talking about how I discovered his music in 2014. We were freshmen, sophomore in high school,
Yeah.
I believe, and that's
Right next door to this stud.
right next door in Reading, baby.
Yeah.
Right
That's
next
all we
door.
would bump in the locker room with Schoolboy Q, and it was awesome, dude. It was the best time. It was the best time.
Nice.
Do you ever miss high school at all, or any sports in high school?
I played football and I ran track.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, what'd you do
What
with
was
track?
Your,
100 meter, 200 meter. I was a white ass sprinter.
Dude,
speed guy. Speed
that's
guy.
a speed guy, though.
Mhm.
You know what
I
they
lo-
say, ladies? Speed kills.
Speed kills.
Oh, yeah.
Speed kills.
Speed kills. Dude, I love track. I threw a track. I didn't run.
Javelin or shot put.
I did a little bit of jav, but I was mainly shot put and discus.
Okay.
That was mainly my thing. Jav, I was not as good at. Javelin was for Russo.
Yeah.
Our boy Kevin Russo like broke the Merrimack College record for it.
Nice.
It was pretty. I forget which record it was, but it was pretty sick.
Yeah.
And
What position in football?
Free safety and wide out.
Hell yeah.
yes, sir.
Hey, you guys had a great team.
Yeah, Reading was always solid,
Yeah,
man.
you guys were always
It was
good.
a hard. It was
You
a
went
hard.
to the Super Bowl, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, my freshman year we went, and then my senior year we went to.
Hell yeah.
We ended up losing to freaking. It was on the Kings Academy in Neshoba, I think.
Oh yeah, Neshoba.
Shoba
Actually,
Valley.
shout out Egan Bachtel, one of my college teammates, was on that Neshoba team.
Uh-huh.
No kidding. That's dope.
I'm sorry to say, but no, yeah, that's dope. That's
Dope.
dope.
What was your big like motivation for doing football and stuff? What like did you just wanted to play, or did you really want to do anything with it, or
Just playing, being on a
Just playing,
team,
yeah.
learning how to work with other people, pushing yourself. Just
The list goes on and on.
dude, I think that's like the number one thing about being in sports is being a part of a team,
Yeah.
learning how to
Yeah.
deal with other people's values and
Mhm.
their opinions, because obviously no one's going to share the same mind, no one's going to be perfect, no one's going to follow you 100%. If you do, I feel like that's kind of scary. I
Right.
feel like you want to ask questions. You want to always be challenging, questioning, is this right, is this wrong? And I feel like if you're not doing that, you're just like stuck. You're not changing.
Yeah, you got to change.
You know what
You
I
got to
mean?
adapt.
But
The
I think
environment is always changing, so like you got to reflect that. You know what I
100%.
mean?
But being a part of a team means you got to deal with differing ideas. So balancing what others' opinions are with yours is also important. Again, another balancing
Big time.
act.
Big time.
Always comes
Balance.
down to it. How did being a part of sports and like a team like that help you with like nowadays?
I would say, yeah, it just taught me how to be in a team, how to handle certain things, how to handle discipline, feedback from coaches, and it made you I mean, when you're in high school, you got no idea what the fuck you are.
Dude,
So,
no idea.
So a lot of it's just about learning from mentors, seeing what like the upperclassmen are doing, learning. Okay, is this a good coach? Is this a bad coach? What do I want to learn from my mentor? What am I learning here? And all that. So
Yeah.
Dude, I find that super important with like people that I work with that like may have an old school mindset. Because I work with a lot of older guys, old school trade guys, and obviously it's like a very like macho environment, and
Definitely.
people try to like
Definitely.
puff chest, I guess, a little bit, and you just gotta
Yeah.
recognize that it is what it is, not take it too personally, and just balance. You gotta balance. You gotta be chill. I'm just chill with everybody, man. I love talking to people. Love just having fun, and I don't know, but some people are hurt, man. Some people are hurt out here. Why are people so hurt, Ty? What's going on?
I don't know, man. Some people, they just gotta. It's all about. You've said it many times. Self-awareness.
For sure,
like
that's so important.
that's just important, in just in any scenario in life. Like, you got to be self-aware. You got to understand your surroundings. Pay attention.
definitely.
Like, but the number one thing also is confidence. I know we said on your pod, Rich Levis Talk, shout out.
Confidence is big.
Confidence is ginormous.
Confidence is huge.
What
You
so
gotta believe in yourself, man.
what was your biggest motivation for college, and like where'd you end up going?
I don't think there was a motivation for college. I just think it was like the normal course of life that
For sure.
like you're like if I could
You
go
just
back,
fall into
I
that.
probably wouldn't go to college. I'd probably
Agreed.
get straight into high ticket sales.
Mm.
Or, I mean, what I'd do is I'd find either a remote job or a sales job in a college area. That way I could have the extracurricular fun that college people have without wasting. Because I went to college for engineering and math, and now I'm in sales. And
Yeah.
yes, I have those skills, and I can do some math. I can speak some Spanish because of college.
Yes,
I know how to
sir.
problem solve a little bit. But the amount of money that I spent, that my family saved up and all that, probably doesn't equate to the success that I have now. As in, the success I had now were from other opportunities that got me there, not from my degree.
So it wasn't worth it, you think?
No. I would say college is only worth it if you want to be like a doctor, a lawyer, or going to like medical school,
Yeah.
or actually become an engineer. I became an engineer because I'm like, okay, this is the normal course of life. I was kind of following in other people's footsteps rather than taking control of my own life.
Yeah. Well,
Most people just go to
Yeah.
college
feel like
because they
that-
feel like it's a normal course of
Yeah.
life, not because they actually
Yeah.
want to go.
yeah, they don't
Yeah.
even think about it really.
And like you said, it's that extracurricular social fun that you get to have in college that I feel like is really like paid attention to. I think like
That's
don't-
that's definitely a reason why people actually go.
that's like a big part of it. I also just think like I don't regret it. I wouldn't say like I don't think anyone should regret going to get higher
I
education.
don't regret it. I just wouldn't do it again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, because I'm like a big, maybe I shouldn't say a big proponent, but I would love it if college was free. I would be a big fan of that. I think that's really important to have a society of educated people. I think
But
it's
then
like,
you probably
be
wouldn't
free.
go if it was free.
you probably wouldn't. You're probably right.
Because when things are free, we don't invest.
We don't
I mean,
value it. We
you don't value it. Like when you
We've
buy a
talked about that,
course
yeah.
or a car for $5K, you want to take care of that fucking car because you just put all this money
Put a
into
lot of
it.
money into it.
If your dad has a ton of money, he just gave you a car, and you knew if you crashed it, you could just get to
wouldn't
buy a
really
new car.
care. Yeah.
You'd be driving reckless. Like if there were no laws for being pulled over, everyone would drink. The fact that there are laws
True.
in society makes us abide by them because
Right.
when there are consequences, we change the way we do things.
Right. Right. No, I agree with that. I agree
If
with
That's a
that.
college
big
was
fact.
free, you
That's a
probably
big
wouldn't go.
fact.
If college is free, you probably wouldn't go. You're probably right. I do wish we lived in a society. Obviously, that's like a utopian society, but I do wish we live in a society that favored, college. And if it was hopefully offered for free, we'd have more educated people, more guys like Elon Musk trying to just better society. Obviously, he's like
I
the
just think-
extreme.
Well, I
but
don't think college would make more people like Elon Musk.
probably not. No,
Yeah, no.
obviously, because the education system is very
'cause
flawed.
the point of college, college produces employees.
Yep, it produces literally those foot workers. That's
Yes.
like,
That was
you
the-
go
that
to
was the
college
purpose,
to
yeah.
learn how to work for someone else.
You're right.
People like Elon Musk are developed because they have a bigger vision for themselves.
Yes.
And
yes.
they have a vision for how they want the world to work, and then that
Absolutely.
pushes them. I think if I could go back, I go to the military for 4 years, and then I go to college.
Smart idea. Smart
Get
idea.
paid for, right?
Well, the thing is, most guys think of, oh, I'm going to go to college and be around all these women and you're on a frat and do all this fun stuff. Reality is, your brain is not developed. Just a pimply-faced kid in college that has no idea
Very
what
true.
the fuck he wants to
Yeah.
do.
Very true.
I would much rather go to the military for 4 years, learn how to actually be a man, make my bed, be very disciplined, work out, get
Yeah.
jacked, and learn how to work on a team for
Yes.
the nation, and then go to college, see if that's something I want to do, because then I would take my studies a lot more seriously.
Yes.
Most kids go to college and they waste 4 years. They get some shitty degree that they don't know what to do with, and then they're $200K in debt,
Yes.
paying back college debt, doing a job they don't want to do because
Yes.
they spent 4 years because their parents told them they should do it.
Absolutely. I love that you're really about
It's crazy.
finding what you love and just doing it.
Well, we'll find out what's going to make you money and find out what's going to drive
make
you.
money. Yeah, drive you exactly.
Yes.
I like that I just like that you're about what drives you. I like that there's a lot of people out there, like you said, that do things that they don't want to do. You know, they wake up when they don't want to and work jobs that they don't like to.
Well, that's called discipline.
It's a means to an end. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say a lot of people do things that other people tell them they should do.
Right.
Not, okay, I'm going to work this job so that I can do this because I want to do this.
Yeah. They're not making that decision themselves. It's
College should be a stepping stone to something else, not just a motion you go through.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah,
I think
it really is going through the motions.
Yeah, I think in
Like,
life in general, everyone kind of goes through the motions. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
like what we've been instilled to do.
Yep.
And I also don't like that idea. I like that, yeah, like what wakes you up in the morning? Like what is that thing that drives you? And whatever that is, you got to let that kill you because that's your thing, right? That's your fire. And, you know, for me, that's like, you know, things like the gym, that's like music, that's like things that I love to do that like just get me up in the morning, man. That's what I love. And like, yeah, you do things that you don't like to do. Like you said, you have to discipline yourself in order to, you know, fund those things, I guess. And hopefully one day you're able to turn those things into, like you said, a financially viable option. And then you can fucking let that shit kill you because
get that freedom.
that's the
though.
goal for me, man. I want to fucking just do what I love and let that kill me because that's the best. Like you see it a lot with a lot of fighters. Like no one really wants to get punched in the face. No one likes that, man. But a lot of fighters, they just
Shout out Richard Lopez.
they love it, man. Like they love the lifestyle. They love the dedication, the grind, the craft that they're willing to die out there, dude. Like I gotta show you guys this clip of Izzy Adesanya when he's fighting Kevin Gastelum, and he's just like talking shit to him, but telling him he's prepared to die.
Damn. That's kind of how the mentality you got to have, though, as a fighter. Like, I respect anyone who gets in a ring and fight. I don't know if you have any background in MMA.
I mean, I do
or-
kickboxing with Rich, but and
Let's
I did
go.
some BJJ in college.
Hell
but
yeah.
That's it.
Hell yeah.
When did you start doing the Muay Thai?
Oh, I don't do Muay Thai. It's just kickboxing. Like Rich has been doing
Oh.
it for a minute, and he has more experience than me. So
Okay.
I wanted to learn, and then we used to before we turned the living room into the studio. That's where we would.
Oh, that's sick, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
Hell yeah.
awesome. Yeah, you just have to have a really good training partner. I think that's
Yep,
so important.
that's
Is having someone that is definitely well educated and is good at pulling punches, because I think things like Muay Thai or kickboxing are like super technique driven.
Yep.
I guess Muay Thai is definitely different because in Thailand their whole thing is just like, so in like real like boxing is like stick and move, right? Like hit but don't get hit. But then in Muay Thai it's like get hit and like hit back harder. It's like
Yeah.
such a different like mentality. And dude, the Muay Thai people, they're crazy. But this is something that always drives me when I see Izzy, man. He's so, well, let me get the screen up. He gets me hyped up. He's one of my favorite UFC fighters, man.
Style bender.
When you entered the 5th round against Kelvin, you said,
Actually, let's see. All right. Well, let's get the actual video first. So this is the 5th round championship fight right here. Oh, the words are in the way, but he's looking Kevin in the face saying, "I'm prepared to die." He keeps saying, "I'm prepared to die."
Yeah, you can't. It's tough to beat the guy with nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, tell me you're the guy. you're across from that guy, and that guy's telling you, "I'm prepared to die in here for this." Like, ooh, that's like, damn. I thought this was just a fight, man, but
You're
no,
like, damn, I gotta kill him.
I want to see what Rogan said about it though,
When
because
you entered the 5th round against Kelvin, you said, "I'm ready to die."
Yeah, well, I looked at him, and I remember I call it Este Diablo. He was looking at me, and he just had this like look, just swinging his hands. And I said, "You're not gonna beat me. I'm prepared to die." And I meant that, man. I swear to God on my life, I meant that. I'm even getting goosebumps thinking. See
dude,
that?
he's so tough.
Like I meant that shit, cause I was like, look, and I signed my death warrant right there. I was like, look, if this is how I die, this is how I die. But you see me, I was trying to get him. I was trying to kill him. I knew.
He's
For me, if
different,
I'm ready
man.
to die, I'm ready to
He's
kill
one of the
him.
best kickboxers around, man. You gotta watch him,
well.
Izzy. Oh, he's fantastic,
When
dude.
you
Yeah.
entered the
He's
5th
definitely
round-
got the mentality.
Dude, he's got that Mamba mentality. Him and Alex Pereira, man, they had some fucking bouts. Some of the 2 best guys in kickboxing history. Some of the best strikers of all time clashing, going at it. And Izzy was down. Fucking their last fight, he knocks him out. That was so sick.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
He's
that's
nasty.
manifestation.
He's
That's
nasty.
why I like Izzy a lot. I feel like he manifests his shit. You know, he knows. You know, he said, "I'm prepared to die." He wins, dude. He believes himself wholeheartedly.
Yep.
And I love that. Him and Francis Ngannou, both from Nigeria. Francis has a crazy story. You know who Francis Ngannou is?
I've heard of the name.
I'll show you a picture. He's a freak. He's like 6'9", jacked.
Didn't he fight Tyson Fury?
He just fought Tyson
Yeah.
Fury. And this was his first ever boxing fight.
against the
and
best in the world.
He knocked down the best in the world and didn't get knocked down.
and didn't win
Let me
though
get the
somehow.
screen up. All right, so that is this man's right here. Look at this beast.
Oh yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah, he's 6'8", absolute gigantic man,
Yep.
just a beast. And dude, his story is he had to he wanted to get to France to learn kickboxing,
Mm-hmm.
and so obviously to do that he had to cross through like Egypt. So dude, he fucking walked from Nigeria, literally walked to Egypt through the desert just to get a chance to get on a
Damn.
boat,
Yeah.
go to France. First time they did it, they sent him back because he didn't have any papers. He's just a poor kid from Nigeria. And so he had to do it again,
Oh my god.
do it again. Finally got to France. Someone saw that this guy's a genetic freak, huge dude. This kickboxer took him in and he said, "You need to do MMA. Like, you're built for MMA. Like, I don't want you to do kickboxing. I want you to do MMA." And then he became the UFC heavyweight champ.
Wow.
Some
Dude, that's
crazy motivational
crazy.
shit, man. That stuff, like,
it is wild.
that's what you live for, right? Like those underdog stories is like you said, there's a lot of kids that have nothing, go through the motions, but you see this guy like willing to walk through hell.
Yeah, he went through it for sure.
He went through it, man. Like obviously, like we don't live lives like that. You know what I mean? That this is like first world problems, but there are definitely times where I'm like, damn, like, you know, you go through shit and you know you're not where you want to be, but like you got visions of where you want to be, and you just got to believe in yourself like he did. You know,
yeah, absolutely.
no way he thought he was going to get
Unwavering
there,
belief in your own self and your own self-worth.
Absolutely. What kind of people do you look up to give you that?
I find people that have the lifestyle that I want, and I don't necessarily say I want that lifestyle. I say, how can I apply the path that he took there to my life and arrange my goals so I get there. So it's not about like, oh, I want that life. I'll feel amazing when I have that life. It's okay, what do I want? Okay, what did he do to get where he is? How can I apply that to me?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Who are those people for you?
For me, I would say Elon Musk is definitely up there.
Let's go.
Who else? Who am I reading right now? Bradley. If you guys look him up, he has a book. It's called The Hard Way. He has his own company where he teaches. Oh, Hormozy is a huge one for me. Alex Hormozy.
Okay.
Hormozy, shout out.
Yeah. He has a company called Gym Launch. Who else? Yeah, I mean, I just keep finding mentors, keep finding new books. Dan Martell wrote the book Buy Back Your Time. Dan Bilzerian, obviously the lifestyle
Shout
that
out.
he has. I have a bunch of others. I would say the main ones right now are Alex Hormozy. Yeah, Alex Hormozy is the one I look up to right now a lot.
Hell yeah.
I love that. All successful men.
Yeah,
Very successful men.
He's a dog. He grinds, gets after it,
Yeah.
and it's paying off, obviously.
Yeah. So what are those things that you take from them to apply to yourself?
That you need to focus on one thing at a time.
Mm.
A lot of people are like, yeah, I want to do this and this and this. It's like, all right, man, what's making you money?
Mm.
Okay, why you?
That's true.
Are those other things making you money? They're not. Okay, why don't we pick one thing for fun, and then focus on the other things that are making you money, and then make as much money as you can from them. And then once those things override your main business, then you focus on that. Then you focus on other things. Because the guy
Yeah.
with like the roofing business, the construction business, the cleaning business, is gonna be further behind the guy with the one lawn care business. Because the guy with the one lawn care business can get more and better at that one lawn care business faster because of the singular focus.
That's
I'd
crazy.
agree. I'd agree. People do try to multitask too much, and it's kind of like we talked about on your guys' pod. Is that like it's better to learn one kick 1,000 times,
Yep.
like do one kick 1,000 times versus 1,000 kicks one time. Yeah, like
Yep.
it's cool to be like a jack of all trades and have a lot of different interests, but you gotta like you said, maybe you gotta hone in on one thing first.
You have to.
You gotta hone in that one thing that funds your life. Let that do what you need it to do, and then move on.
Yeah.
So I think what are those things for you right now? What's the next goal? What's up next? Like, what are you trying to get after?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
what
would
are you
say
working towards?
It's getting to 5K a month for my digital marketing business. It's
Let's go.
Go.
I want to get to 190 pounds of muscle. It's not gonna.
Oh,
It's gonna
man.
be like I'm 162 right now, bulking up to 190. So it's gonna take
Wow.
like 2 years because
Hell yeah.
I'm only 25. So
all the
like
time in the world.
when I look at guys that are jacked, they're either juicing or it's muscle maturity. Like guys like Virgil
Yeah.
Gallagher, completely natural, eats like dark chocolate, has like a diet that he likes. It's getting there over time. Life's a marathon, not a fucking sprint.
It's a marathon,
That's a
man.
fact.
Dude.
That's a fact.
Yeah, like we said, people underestimate what they can do in 10 years versus 1 year. And,
Yep.
the whole steroid thing it's very interesting to me. Like I don't want to say like we've talked about like certain performance enhancers being allowed in like sports. Like I think like things that help you heal, right? Like this is your career. You should be able to take things like stem cells that help you out. But things like steroids are completely different. Where I think like people do abuse them. It's a drug, right?
Yep.
And people can get addicted. And I think like people get addicted to how they look, and they
Well,
Right,
the
it's
thing
like-
is, guys will work out, do steroids, and then they'll get women's attention, and then they think, "Oh wow, I did steroids. I gotta do more steroids to get more attention." It's like, nah, bro. Like, stay where the fuck you are.
That's not how it
And
works.
Focus on other things in your life.
yeah. It's like
Like,
obviously.
hey man, do I get to another cycle? Like, nah, bro. You're big. Like, you're big enough where girls find you attractive. Now focus on your game, your finances, and how you feel about yourself.
Do you think girls like muscly guys?
So there's an overperception bias where guys think that women want them to look more like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and women think that guys want them to look more like a skinny model. Where it's the opposite, where girls prefer guys look like a David Beckham, a Brad Pitt from Fight Club, like
taller,
cut
skinnier
and-
guys. Yeah.
not skinnier, but just built, cut, and not ginormous.
Yep.
Guys actually prefer a woman to look more like Kim Kardashian, a little bit of curves, like
Hourglass.
like attainable, not some like skinny model that's
Surgery.
anorexic. So there's a women think they need to look skinnier, and men think women want them to look bigger. When the reality is, no, you just look attractive enough and make sure that your your testosterone's in the right place, and make sure that like you're fit. If you're over 14% body fat, women won't find you attractive.
Damn, 14%? That's low. That's low.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about woman like attractive woman finding you
Yeah.
attractive.
But then
If you're
why do
below-
some hot girls love dad bods?
They don't. So
They don't?
No,
I see
no.
a lot of hot girls with some dad bods.
Right.
yeah.
Well, that's because they have
true.
status in another place.
Probably, yeah. They're probably packing somewhere else.
When women talk about what they like, they imagine a man they already find attractive, and they say what's comforting. So
Yeah, true.
if you marry a 9 and she started dating you in shape and you get out of shape, she's gonna cheat on you. Damn. Because
These hoes ain't loyal, dude. That sucks.
well, love is always conditional for women. They're always looking for the next and biggest
is it-
opportunity.
You think so? It's conditional for them?
Of course. Why wouldn't it be?
I don't know. I feel like women love the idea of a marriage and
They do,
being
but
with someone.
like
and
women can be in a marriage and
But
they'll
you
still
have to
cheat
be
because you're not
providing
satisfying.
something.
Well, you have to provide value, and you have to be the guy that's satisfying every single part. Like make her laugh, pipe her down really, really good, provide money
Mm-hmm.
and be the guy that other men want to be and other women want to fuck. And if you can't be that guy, then attraction is going to go down.
It's crazy.
Well, yeah, I do.
That's crazy. The game's backwards, man.
I do think that. I do think.
Well, women are the ones that reproduce, so they hold access to sex, so they have the ability to be the prize in the relationship.
Yeah.
Once men become the ones that are rare, that's when the dynamic switches. So that's why you have to be improving yourself, improving your finances, and not accept maybe living at home with your parents, doing just like a consistent job, and like, oh, what actually do I want? What's gonna get me a woman to look like the woman that Jake Paul is dating? How can I be that man?
Facts.
Yeah. I think it's always a constant battle of self-improvement. It's really not something that you can ever be satisfied with, right? Like you can't let yourself fall off.
But where's that gonna get you?
Yeah, it's not gonna, exactly.
Nowhere.
You're just gonna be
It
swimming in
leads
circles.
you down a bad path.
Exactly, leads you down a
Like-
bad path.
Like I think when we had Rich on the podcast,
Shout out.
He mentioned that that's just like a terrible mentality to have. Like it's fine, like
Yeah.
just going through life, like nothing to strive for. But
I can't imagine that.
Yeah, it's tough.
but yeah, you just don't
Like
want to do
imagine not leaping out of bed excited for the day.
Exactly. It's
Like,
a lot of people
dude,
just.
you get
that. A
another
lot
day.
of people have that though.
Gratitude, like you get another day. Like here's the thing.
That's so true.
Because of the way our brains are wired, we take so many things for granted.
Oh yeah.
Imagine if you didn't have a roof over your head right now.
I know.
What would you be willing to do to get a roof over your head?
Anything.
Like,
Anything.
well, yeah, exactly.
Anything.
Right.
Yeah, that's why we talked about E.T. the
perspective.
hip hop preacher.
Nope.
So do you know the quote saying like when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful?
Yeah. So like desperation breeds innovation. For instance, if you get laid off and you're starting your own side business, you're gonna go all in and you're gonna do things you never thought imaginable because you got nothing to lose.
Yep.
Desperation,
100%.
man. A lot
Like
of people,
for me, say I have a job right now and say I lose that job and I have my side business, I'm gonna start doing things and innovating in my side business in ways that I didn't do before because I'm not complacent anymore. I'm like, this needs to happen. I need money on the table. That's why
Yeah.
oftentimes people that have families have more success in their jobs than people that don't because they're forced to provide.
Yeah.
I think when the lights are out, you got to pay. You got to put food on the table.
When you have kids and it's not about you anymore, that's when the drive kicks in.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah, it is easy to be selfish when it's just you. When you just only have you to look out for. When you have, a dog or a girl or a family or kids, your life's over.
They
now
go
it's
first.
Now it's them. Now they go first, right?
bro. Everything you do is for them.
Damn.
And you can't be out of work. You can't miss days. Like you have to stay consistent. You have to show up, put on. You got to put on.
You got to put on, man. You
know
got
what
to.
I mean?
You can't stay.
Got a family to feed.
Like you said, like when you're complacent and comfortable, that's when you spiral out. But
Exactly.
when you're lacking things and you're desperate, that's when you're willing to run through fucking brick walls to get that. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
think
that's true.
people don't ever have that fire in them, that hunger. Like,
Do you think it's healthy to voluntarily put yourself in a scenario like that
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Bill
where you
Zimmer
have
talks-
to?
Well, that's what makes you grateful for things.
Mm.
That's why
Totally,
people
totally.
like volunteer to the soup kitchen because then it puts you in perspective. Like, holy fuck, these people don't have homes.
Yeah.
I'm so lucky to. Wow, tomorrow I'm gonna work way harder at work because I have the opportunity to do that.
Yes.
dude, that's so true. I think like,
It's all about that perspective.
yeah, we try to do food drives here and there just because like that's like we know that there's so much more than enough food to go around to give people. Like there's more than enough, and we trying to like.
So much goes to waste.
It's so sad that people have to like go hungry, man.
Yeah.
That stuff is like, I just like that stuff kills me. I think like, I don't know what your take is on religion, but a lot of times like I feel like that's why a lot of people lack that higher power that kind of drives them is because they see all these horrible things like how can we fix these things, and it's like it's impossible. It almost feels impossible. You're so helpless. But
It's just the world's so big and there's so many people. It's like how can you sway everyone to think
Yeah.
in the same way, in the same direction.
Yeah.
I think the internet is helping us do that in a way.
Big
We're
time.
moving towards the right direction, but and I think ultimately that will be it. Like one day we're gonna be living in VR. Like
It's getting crazy now,
You know
man.
what
I
I
mean,
mean?
like, well, look how the leaps and bounds social media has done. Like, I know social media isn't always the best, and it's kind of like a rabbit hole and kind of get stuck in it. But you can use social media to
the
your
death scroll. The death scroll
the death
gets
scroll
me.
gets all the time. But you can use social media as a tool to benefit things. And like I think like
Yep.
Elon buying Twitter, now X, was like big for like censorship. I feel like obviously it's kind of like the Wild West there now, so it's a little crazy when you go on Twitter. But I think like if he didn't take that over, I think like a lot of political agendas would have been pushed on there and censorship, and
Yeah.
it's very clearly like we live in a corruptible world and people don't really see it.
Yeah.
Dude, I think like
100%.
have you noticed it a little bit, like political agendas and
I don't. I mean, I try to make I try not to have negative thoughts.
Oh,
And
yeah.
The more you look at the news,
so negative?
media
man.
news is negative, and why focus on that? So I get my news from like Instagram, or like my buddy will send me something, but I don't watch the news. I don't really.
I don't
I
watch
follow
the news
Twitter every
either.
now and then. I try to stay up to date on like what Patrick Medave is talking about, what Andrew Tate's talking about, what different people are talking about, what Elon Musk is doing, but I don't look at the local news or any of that. Like, I don't follow politics.
Yeah.
I mean, I know right now Trump's winning Missouri, whatever the fuck it is.
Whatever's going on,
So
yeah.
I follow that, but yeah, I don't really follow politics that much.
Yeah, I try not
I'm
to
on the
either.
same page. Like
It's always
I
so
don't-
sad. It's always so sad. And I also
What
just don't
is?
like the idea of a two-party system where people are so extreme that they can't come together. I'm a big
but that's kind of like
we talked about being a part of teams. Like I'm a big team guy. I'm a big team person, and I don't.
it should be all one, but it's like they pin two sides against each other, which is how
We've divided ourselves.
we just divide ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's-
and
I don't like that idea. And I think if you're too extreme to one way, I think it's a dangerous and unhealthy habit. You know what I mean? I think, like we said, we got to be balanced. I think like moderation, right? Like, why are we're so far right that now we're far left? Like we're completely all over the place. And I think a lot of people are more dedicated to their party than they are dedicated to like helping others.
Yeah.
It's like a weird like culty thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's so many. Have you guys ever watched any cult documentaries?
I used to.
Dude,
I
they're
don't have time now.
crazy, man. They're so insane. People really like believe these people. Like they're so like, it's scary to think like it could have been any of us that got, bullied into a cult. Really, like those young impressionable kids are like they have no
bullied
idea.
into a cult.
Dude, that's what happens. It's dark. They do some dark things, and
Yeah,
But yeah,
just
like
wild.
it is hard to make time for documentaries. They're so long, but like there's some really good ones like Blackfish, like the whole thing going on with like SeaWorld, and there was another big one that occurred, like a lot of corruption going on with
I saw there's a new Kid Leroy documentary,
about what?
like
Just
his life,
music?
his come up,
Kid Leroy.
because he was like 10 years old hanging out with Juice World in the studio. like,
Oh, yeah. Dude, yeah, what do you think about artists?
Going
Who do you like
crazy.
to listen to?
I've been in the clubs for a while, so I listen to
Yeah.
a lot of like EDM, house, and all
Oh, yeah.
that.
hell yeah.
I don't have any specific artists right now. If I like a song, I'll Shazam it and I'll put it on my Spotify. That's really it. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, do you know
Hell
the
yeah.
band Sophie Tucker? They're like an EDM
Yeah,
band, dude.
course.
I love them. They're awesome.
they're
They're
good.
huge. Or Elderbrook.
Never heard of that, but I'm sure they're good.
Yeah, they're a good EDM. I like to listen to that when I'm like out in a club or things like that. But yeah, like what's the pregame? Like you don't drink anymore, right? Yeah.
No drink.
So, well, what was your go-to pump up music when that was like your
So,
thing?
if I'm at the gym, I'm listening to an audiobook or a podcast.
Let's go.
Right now, my AirPods are dead, so I'm waiting for new ones to come in. But if the gym is too loud, say I'm working out and a guy's punching a bag and I can't hear the audiobook, I'll throw on some music or I'll throw on some Wes Watson and I'll have him just like freaking yell at me about being a bitch. And then I'll pull it out. But aside from that, yeah, man, whatever makes you want to dance is something that like I'm like, let's go.
Let's go.
Yes.
Dude,
Get the
how
rhythm
important is it
going.
to dance and just have fun?
So I mean, yeah, whenever you're out, bro, enjoy yourself. Have an
Oh, yeah.
action plan, but like also just Sometimes you just gotta relax and enjoy yourself.
Yeah,
100%.
enjoy the present moment. That's all it is.
You guys watch any comedians at all?
I would Shane Gillis, Matt
Shout
Rife,
out.
and Andrew Schultz.
Dude, those are great comedians.
Yeah.
You know who Cat Williams is?
Yeah, I saw him on Shane or Shay Shay.
Oh, Club Shay Shay,
Club
baby.
Shay Shay.
Dude,
Yeah.
do you like Shannon Sharp?
Well, I think that podcast is great to react to. If you guys
Oh,
want to
yeah.
get big on podcasts, I turn reaction videos.
We've done some reactions. We've been watching the show The Boys. Have you seen that?
Well, do something where it goes viral, and then you can attach
Or
a
it goes
cloud to it.
viral. That's true. You're right. That would be important.
Because you can
That's-
do what
that's
you
genius,
you-
actually.
You can react to what you want to. If it's not viral, you're not going to go viral. If something already is viral, you will go viral by reaction to it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're definitely right.
So like the
You're
Boys,
definitely right.
if it's not a huge podcast, you enjoy reacting to it. But is that pushing your podcast out? Probably not.
Probably not.
If you want
No.
to react to Cat Williams and Club Shay Shay, which is already viral, then you reacting to it makes you go viral.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we do have to capitalize more on the trends, right?
Yep.
Like nowadays you have to jump on a trend. If that's what you want to get big, like you gotta like what's big right now? What
Donald Trump, the elections, reaction to that, reacting to
Exactly.
Fresh and Fit, Andrew Tate, like reacting to the things that are trendy right now on Twitter. Just look them up and react to it. React to someone else's video.
Yeah, we've
True.
thought about it. We've thought about doing that stuff. I know that stuff is like tends to be a little more controversial, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously that's why it trends.
So why wouldn't you react to something controversial? That's literally what people want to see.
It's I like it's so hard for me to
Like you want the podcast to grow, right?
of course.
So reacting to controversial things is what's going to grow.
Right. For me, I like to I guess toe a line is not the best way to do it. I'm like a very fence person, right? Like I don't like to rock the boat too much. I don't like to
There's a reason when we kick a girl off Rich Level Talks, she gets 1.7K views. There's a reason for that.
there is a reason for that, for sure.
So
I
you
see
gotta ask
your
yourself,
point 100%.
Yeah, what is it worth it to you? That's what you could ask.
That's the question is what is it worth it to? And I don't want to like
Because you're not. Here's the thing, bro. You're not big enough for it to matter.
no, exactly. It wouldn't matter at the end of the day. Exactly.
So do things so it does matter.
Right. I just like I'm like a big like integrity person where it's like if I'm not like really digging it, if that's not something I'm like really about, I don't really like want to like fake be about it. You know what I mean? Like say we reacted to like Donald Trump in politics. Like I'm not really like big into politics and I don't really have an opinion on it to like really give an educated answer. So if I were to like give an opinion just for it to go viral, yeah, that'd be great. Obviously that brings drive and traffic to our stuff, but like it's not me. You know what I mean?
Do you want to make money? Or do you want to be you?
That's the question. Like what is the
Why not
value
both?
what is
Why
the
not
value
both?
of being you? You know
Well,
what I mean?
money comes first, and then once you have a brand, then you can do it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Money it's tough, right? Like
Social media is fake, and I'm okay with that. But the money is real.
the
That's
money's
why
real.
I enjoy posting group photos of me with women because that means other women hit me up. I'm not doing that for fun. It's fun in the moment, but it's a lot of work
It's-
to set up.
It's for the
Does that
future.
mean-
Yeah.
Like, being yourself is about becoming the person that you want yourself to be.
Exactly.
Not just staying in what you've been doing and what other people tell you is right or wrong.
right.
I can understand you don't want to do it because you have a family and you live at home and you're like, oh, what's my cousin going to say? What's aunt going to say at Thanksgiving? What are my buddies going to say? Why are they doing all this? Those are all what-if questions. And then once you blow past them and start making money off this because you're doing reaction videos, they're not going to give a fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even think of what other like I'm not really like concerned of what other people think. I'm more concerned about what I would think of
your
myself.
own morality.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like with trades and work, right?
Andrew Tate saying certain things. He's making $4 million a month off Hustlers University.
Yeah,
What would you be willing to save to make $4 million a month?
that's the thing.
You got to
is-
start small and get there, but Yep.
Right. Like you're right. It's like what do I want to sacrifice to get there? And it's like, do I want to sacrifice, my values for it?
well, how are you sacrificing your values?
Well, it depends on what am I like? What are we talking
Like
about?
this doesn't have to be Donald Trump. This could be this crazy bitch gets kicked off this podcast, and then you react to that video. That's controversial. and people are gonna watch it. Because when you go on your phone on Instagram, anything that's like, oh, it's good, it's politically correct, you're scrolling past. You're not watching that shit.
Yeah, yeah, you're probably right.
You're not watching that shit.
You're probably
No, you're
like,
true. It's what you're
drives,
saying is true.
It drives traffic. Yeah, it's just like
So if you want, I'm just telling you, if you want people to watch your shit, you got a picture that people want to watch.
No, yeah, 100%. I think like if we were to react to like something crazy about that Andrew Tate said, or someone getting like a hot girl, wilding out or whatever,
or anything that's trending or viral,
or anything,
pick those things. Yeah,
it would. I would just like be very picky, I guess, of what I'm willing to do. That
be picky,
for.
but pick something that's trending.
Right, exactly. Yeah, like definitely we can do anything that's trending. If it's something like that kind of like makes me question my values, I probably wouldn't do it. You know what I mean?
Why?
Because I care about who the person I am and my values. Because it's like if I'm willing to like kind of like shit.
Dude, if it makes you money, fucking like. Here's the thing: there is this between being like selling kids on the black market and making money from a controversial video.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm not comparing it to that. I'm comparing it to like, I don't know.
You do you. I'm telling you what works and what's not going to work. If you want to stick with reacting to something that's not controversial because of values, that's fine.
Yeah. I got to find my lane. That's like that's the biggest thing that we've been trying to do is find our lane. Like what is my lane? Where do I want to take things and just like thrive in that lane.
Yep.
Because like I wouldn't want to do something that I don't like, right? Because like why else do you get up in the morning? You know what I mean? Like obviously, like you said, you do certain things for like money and other things, but like if it's something you really like to do, I want to do it because I really like it. You know what I mean?
So do you think a guy that owns a $200 million waste management business enjoys waste management? Or do you think he found he was really good at something and it made him money so he kept doing it? And then he uses that to make money as a tool to do things he wants to do in his free time.
Absolutely. You need that.
Correct.
100%.
Yeah, I agree
but like
with
for
that,
things like this that like obviously like doesn't make us money right now, like why would I sell out now? You know what I mean?
Well,
I guess.
You got to find a way to start making money.
Right.
And
yeah, we got to find our lane. We got to find our lane.
That's what we're trying to do.
That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get there. Obviously, it's like you said, it's slow.
Well, no, there is no try. We will get
That's
there.
all they do.
Yep, got it.
You got it.
We will get there.
Right, we're gonna get there. We're gonna.
How long have we been going for?
It's about an hour 12. But yeah, do you got to get heading out, man?
I got to prep for a couple of things in like a little bit.
Yeah, it's up to you. What are you thinking? You want to keep going, or you might be put it on outro, or what do we think?
Yeah, well, why don't we put an outro? I think this was great for
start wrapping it up.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. So for us, the way we like kind of end our podcast is like we kind of just try to give like what's more of the story, like what can we tell people that are watching?
What can the people take
them?
away?
What can they take away?
What can they take away? I would say find what you want to do. Don't accept things that don't drive you forward. Start reading more. Always be seeking knowledge. Make sure you have the right circle of friends.
Dude, that's huge.
And yeah, man, just focus. Don't do what is your best. Do what's required.
Yes, I agree with that. Do what's required. You got to do the work necessary.
Do what's required.
What about you, Ty? What's your final thoughts?
Yeah, just to harp on what Luke was saying, we got to just keep working. Chop wood, carry water.
There we go.
Shit's going to pay off for you. Chop wood, carry water. That's life. That's life. There's no escaping that work.
Yeah.
So it comes down to who does it the best, who's most efficient, who's the best version of themselves. So
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
rolling.
I would say you can't cheat the grind. There's no way you can fake it. You only get out what you put in.
Yes.
And people know when they're lacking. People know when they're not putting in enough.
You know who you are.
Because at night,
myself included.
There's a saying where it's like at night when you're alone with like just you, the moon, and the stars, like you know what you do wrong, you know what you do right, you know everything about yourself, and you got to make sure that you want to be the person that when they're in those moments that you know you did your best, you put your all into it.
Exactly.
And
for sure,
if you put your all into it, that means, and if it didn't work out, it's okay because at least you did your best. But that means we're gonna keep doing our best. Nothing's gonna stop us. So yeah,
There we go.
let's dance this one out.
Dance
Type.
it out.
There we
Dance
go.
it
Let's
out.
go.
Thank you to the live band.
Yo, Luke, thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. This is awesome.
Appreciate it. Much appreciated.
And yeah, we wish you best on what you got going on today, man.
Awesome.